Hello again, and welcome back to the Dev Plays the Crucible of Avarice, Animite Tales tabletop RPG. So last session, the party decided to. The last session, the party was able to get back together after being separated. Both Aldous and Stan were able to get back to the party, but not before Anarche was attacked by a hero by the name of Homage. He was able to escape quickly enough before it was too late. Eventually they went down to the Land of the Sunken Moon's pier so that they could create a submachine using Stan's ability, so that they could perhaps hide out under the ocean. Quite a few hours has passed, and now it is about the nearing the 12th remaining hour of the 24 hours before Anarche will potentially win the Crucible of Avarice tournament. However, they've recently run into a bit of an issue. Many leagues down below the surface of the water, in the depths of the ocean, they began getting chased and attacked by something. And finally it was revealed that Fergus is aboard with the rest of them. We now come back to it where the Stan is currently in control of the submarine, as he is using his rumble rods to accelerate the speed of which that the rumble rods are pushing the accelerate the speed of the submarine. However, Anarche, you can still sense this large life force that is much bigger than the submarine. Obviously, you've coated it in your Storm God's Visage energy mech, to give it an additional set of defense. However, yes, not too far off from the two of you, as Aldous is standing next to Ferb every time. Aldous is standing next to Ferb. Anarche, you're standing in front of the two of them. Just about 2 or 3 meters behind you is there Fergus. You've already turned around, so he's now in front of you, but he's still 3 meters away from you. He's basically 7 meters away from. He's 7 meters away from Ferb and Aldous. Felix, on the other hand, you are not aware of Fergus right now, as you are in the quote-unquote gym. And this is all happening on sort of the middle deck of the submarine. As we now come back to it, Ferb and Anarche, you see this as he's saying to you that it's a long time no see, and he pretty much just says these words as he says, taking out a cigarette, he says, "Is it alright if I light up in here? I can never tell in these places."
No, not really.
Shame. As he puts it back in one of his pockets of his large coat. So,
is this the real Fergus, or is this another body that he's possessing?
It's a clone, I assume.
How can you be so sure, Anarche? I'm almost certain that you can't
You'd
recognise...
have to be pretty darn stupid to send the real one here.
Well, you'd have to be pretty darn stupid to think that if I was on here, that you could immediately kill me. I mean, you're in a pressurised container, being chased by a large creature. I mean, let's be honest.
That's not that difficult.
You'd be trying to kill yourself if you tried to kill me.
You know, I can be a lot more precise than you think, but sure, we'll go with your idea. So you just hit a taunt, mess around for a bit, try and get us killed. The usual.
Yeah, pretty much. My plan.
You know, you should really set these things up, you know, like in advance. So.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that would be a bit awkward if I didn't plan for something. And he snaps his fingers.
Like dates.
As he snaps his fingers, Aldous immediately falls to the ground. Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway.
As Aldous falls to the ground unconscious, as he de-transforms from his snake-like form and other things. now that we've got the annoying one out of the way, I can't have him messing up my perfect plan, now can I?
Perfect.
You know, I've always wondered about you and Arco. You feel like you're, a little bit stronger than everyone else because, you can wield around all these things, but the problem is you also can drown.
Wow. Really?
And it made me realise something, is that if I could get you in a situation where you can't exactly, escape, then maybe I've got the perfect plan for you. Because with just a single tilt of my hands, this entire ship will start to warp and converge, breaking itself apart. Because these were made by your lovely friend known only as Stan. And although I can't manipulate superpowers without catalyzing the stone, I can manipulate legendarily infused items, and any of his flesh that have now turned into these objects seemingly count as a large power stone. Do you see where I'm getting at with this?
Oh, yes, I do.
So let's have a little bit of fun, eh? As he starts lifting up his hands, the horribly sort of creaky, whiny noises of metal sort of bending and screeching as he's sort of like lifting his arms up, as you can start feeling like the metal plating beneath all of your feet. Even Felix, you now start feeling this weird shaking and shuddering feeling that like almost like the submarine is actually being like sort of bent in certain ways and aspects, and it just sort of, it doesn't feel right. Something's going on with the submarine.
So your big master plan is to break apart our sub, so we drown at the bottom of the ocean, and you can just walk off like nothing really happens.
Well, yes, actually, yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping to do.
Wow, you're really boring. You're boring me.
Very well, I'll just finish it off now.
I go to immediately punch him in the face.
Okay, you'll be rolling against this, but okay.
Cool.
I
use my
think
usage style. B plus this plus. Sorry, what are you gonna say?
Did I have any limbs transformed last time?
No, because you got knocked the hell out last time.
Oh yeah, I had my
33.
chest exploded. I can use emergency fire. Could I do that, but do a gun bash?
No, because emergency fire needs you to shoot.
Fair.
I assume it'll take like a full round of combat for Felix to even get in the room to know what's happening.
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just reactive transform.
That
like?
Not right now in this situation, no. He goes to try and clap, like sort of clash his hands together. As you do so, you do like launch right towards him and just strike him in the face. Roll damage.
Cool.
Oh. Nice hit, boss.
Thank you. Plus 24. Also with this punch, I'm not going to try and like launch him anywhere or anything. It's just going to be because obviously I don't want to break him into the submarine.
Okay. He goes
Downwards.
flying up now.
Yeah.
It's flying through a window.
Oh no, the bulkhead.
Yep.
As you strike into him, you sort of hear this like unforgettable snap and crack as you just feel like the jaw and his cheekbone cracks under the pressure of your fist as you slam into him. He does fall back and sort of go prone as he hits the ground. It looks like it knocks him out for a second, and then suddenly he sort of coughs as he sort of like he sort of rotates, but he's definitely prone at this point, as he like spits out a few teeth, and his face is sort of just mashed from his like left hand side because he hit him with your right hand.
Yeah.
As he just sort of spits blood on the floor. The weird shuddering and creaking and moaning of the metals now ceases. Well done. I knew that you weren't going to make it this easy.
I've given you one opportunity. You can either leave now and stop fussing around, or I can just kill you.
What do I gain from leaving?
Not the other embarrassment of losing again, and tempting me even more to come and hunt you down personally.
You're welcome to do so.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you then. As I'd like to go for it again, but I'm going to try and angle my punch, like, not directly downwards, but more like an angle punch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just getting only his head, so that then there's no, like, give way into the ground. Fair enough.
I will do the same again. $32.
Nice. As you sort of like go towards him, sort of going to strike towards his face. Sorry, I've just lost it now.
That's all good.
Yeah, so as you go to striking towards his face, you do hit right into the side of his cheek, yet again. This time, as you're doing so, roll me some damage. Some good old damage.
It's good old damage. Oh, 140.
Ooh.
As you do so, you notice that your fist isn't going right at him, and instead you notice some strange sort of like reflexive surface, as you then feel like an entire impact through your arm, as the entirety of the damage goes through your arm.
Oh, smart.
Roll me, and because this is obviously willpower, this is the damage that's going into you.
Yes.
Roll me fortitude with disadvantage.
Yep. 5.
5. Oof. Okay. So you take 140 damage. Just getting this now. What's your vitality? Your vitality is 70, isn't it?
71, I believe.
Ooh, okay. So
Oh, no, 73. Sorry, 73.
It's just under double, but it is 1.5 times.
Yeah.
Which means that you had to get a 15. This means that you get 5, so 10, so 15, 10, and you got a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine, so you don't get under a 5, so that's 2. What happens is, as you do this, your entire arm is hit with this explosive force, and it seems to, like, break a part of the bone in your arm as this happens, sort of blasted off backwards. You feel this pressure as it sort of, like, it seems to sort of disjoint the shoulder and seemingly crack all of the bones in your forearm. Like, it just sort of goes through all of them. As you sort of go back, this intense pain hits through. You take the 140, and your arm begins to become somewhat less operational.
I should have known you'd have a spatial ability.
I was hoping that would completely blasted it off. But, I guess I can't always get what I want, eh? As he just vanishes.
No. Can I still sense him?
You can indeed. He's behind Ferb by about 10 meters.
Ferb behind you.
Oh! Can I just throw a smack?
I mean, like, you throw a smack to nothing, as you then realise he's 10 meters away from you.
Oh. I thought you meant he was right behind me.
No, I'll be more specific next time.
So take up an action.
Technically, yes, yeah. As he's sort of just like, as he's looking over at you, he's sort of like noticing a few things. Like his face is actually beginning to sort of correct itself, as it looks as though he's healing. I'll say at this point, Felix, you do start hearing some noises of some kind of like grand slams and smacks going on, like some kind of like large sort of almost explosive strikes.
All right. Gets up from whatever dumbbell he was lifting. Is it okay to say that he bulks up now before heading into?
If that's what you want to do.
Just for a safety measure. I will go ahead and it's been a bit. I roll. Is it willpower?
It's D20 plus 10 because it's based on your SPMA.
Okay. So 29.
Yep. You bulk up.
Alright, and Felix will start to make his way towards where the combat noise is.
You sort of climb up the stairs really quickly. Based on your move speed, you actually do get there. You're now behind an arcade. Looking down, as about 15 meters away from you is Fergus, and you see this as well. His sort of like mangled up face begins to correct itself until it fully heals back to normal. He even like opens his mouth, and you can see one of his teeth sort of begin to grow and come back. Ah, there we go. I was missing that. Oh, much better. As you then start hearing again like this very large noise as an arcade, even though that you know that this thing is, the submarine is firing off these sonic blasts and it is faster than than whatever is down there. This large signature, it is still hot on the tails of this submarine.
But if we keep going at the pace we're going, we should be at least fine for a while.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your big plan, Fergus. Just drown us all. Just so simple and quick. Do you think that will be satisfying for you?
I don't think you understand me. I'm not here to really get at you guys in the same way that you think I am. Personally, I kind of hope you win the war. I hate those stuck-up snoots. But at the same time, you and I have got business. I don't care about a grandiose win. I don't care about winning fair. Hell, all I care about is getting what I want. And what I currently want is to make sure that you guys pay for everything that you've done. Also, I like a bit of mischief. Keeps me sane. Well, sane enough.
Well, then you're kind of faulting your own logic. If we survive long enough to win the war, you don't have to get your hands dirty. You kill us now, you'll probably become Eden's prime target. The one who killed the heretic. Oh wait, you're a necrokinetic. Everything they hate. Oh.
I'm already on
prime
their
target number one.
I'm already on their shit list. But the fact is
Yes.
that once I kill you, that's true, they will be after me. But on the other hand, if I'm able to shew proof that I'm strong enough, powerful enough, or even intelligent enough to take down you guys, no one's gonna try and bother me. Did you know how high up that guy was that you killed earlier today? The one who attacked you in your apartment, Felix? That individual was Jean Polifonte. He's an assassin. A specifically powerful assassin derived by a certain type of training program within Eden. He was trained from a terrifyingly young age to the point of which that he only knows one thing: following orders. That guy has killed so many higher-ups and so many disgustingly powerful individuals that Eden have wanted to kill that it would make some of the ones that you fought previously look like puppy dogs. But the fact that you took him down... Oh, they're writhing. They hate it. So if I can get rid of you, they'll leave me alone.
Joe, as he's monologuing, I want to try something, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know. Did you say my shoulder was dislocated, or is it just?
Yes, yeah, it's dislocated and
And there's a
fractured.
bone like Yeah.
It's sort of like cracked is the best way to put it.
Okay. I don't know if this would work. This might hurt me more, but I'm willing to try. Would I be able to create energy inside myself to essentially use it to move and essentially recorrect at least possibly the placement of my shoulder?
You can certainly try.
I like the idea. 25.
You so as you're saying, you're sort of like trying to put it into the bone, holding it, and then just sort of crack it and slam it into the joint again.
Recorrecting it essentially.
You definitely do that, sort of like as you crack it. As Felix, you see this like suddenly like it's almost like an X-ray of his arm, as like it looks like the inside of his arm begins to glow, as then it suddenly like moves and clicks. As you sort of see an Arcade sort of like shudder for a second. But yeah, you correct the shoulder. The forearm bone is still cracked.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's better at least.
But do you really think they'll see it that way? Remember, the bands record everything. They'll just see you blow a hole in a submarine and they'll drown. That's not intelligence. That's not strength. That's just getting lucky. That won't dissuade them at all.
Perhaps you've been completely misunderstanding me. I'm getting rid of you the only way that I feel like you deserve. Not because it's the only way that I can. Lost at sea seems to be the only true way. But also, I'd be lying if I didn't say that this wasn't personal.
We could talk semantics and morals all day, but I'm tired of this. You want to fight? Let's fight.
Very well, Felix. Then how about we do this one for you? As he just disappears and reappears behind Felix. However, Anarche, only you can sense this.
How far behind him?
Directly behind him.
Yeah.
So, I will say this, only you will be able to react to this.
Oh, okie dokie then.
So,
I would... How... He's behind Felix, and Felix is how far behind me? Like, pretty much next to me? Or
5 meters behind you.
5 meters.
Yeah.
You know what, then? I will try and use my... I don't know if you're allowed this, because I technically have it around the thing, but would I be able to use the Stormlord's like arm usage style thing to try and grab Fergus?
You wouldn't, only because if you do that, it would basically punch a hole through it just to get him, yeah.
Oh no, I meant as in like recreate a new one inside, if that makes sense. Which would obviously drop the one outside if I did that, right?
I'm gonna say No, only because you've currently got the one that you've currently got on right now.
Fair dues. Thought I'd ask.
That's fair enough.
Sorry. Give me a moment.
Uno momentito.
A moment.
Given.
Yes.
Just a reminder to you, Joe. I have, being in my form, I have denial, and also if he does like a physical attack on me, I believe he will take damage.
That is true.
So
I could try something really dumb that has never worked once for me. Because I do I actually have it? I'm pretty sure I do. Because I had Heartful Hatred, didn't I?
Yes.
I could.
You tried
Yes.
it on the angels.
It's never worked once, but I could try it.
You could try it.
You'll be fine, Felix. I'll
So
try it.
you've got Make Do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you can use this reactively.
Come on, Dicebot, please. Fergus is a real dick. I quite hate him. Quite a bit. $24.
Okay, what's the success rate? What do I need to get?
I believe it's against the roll, isn't it? Or is it against the? I think you have to do it willpower wise against the roll.
I think it's a 15 plus.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay, because I know the ability is 20 plus.
Yeah, I think in that case, I think it would be like 15 plus because I think
Okay.
it's instant knockout. If you fail a 15. Yes, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I got an actual 15.
Of course.
Yes, no modifiers, and I got a natural 15. As you sort of do this, though, this is also AoE, so both of them will also have to roll for this.
You're both willpower people. You'll be fine.
So both of you roll me willpower.
willpower. Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's not direct effect, so it can still affect you. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's willpower based, which means that it's based on the strength of a person's will, which denial technically can't necessarily overpower.
I think you can roll both plus 10 anyway. So.
Yeah, you can roll willpower or willpower spirit or willpower mind.
Right.
Which again, for both of you, it's plus 10. So it's just D20 plus 10.
Yeah.
Hope for a 15. In other words, don't get under a 5.
And the 29 from transforming with willpower doesn't affect this in any way.
Sadly, not, no. Ooh,
Okay.
natural 20 from Ferb, and a beautiful 29 from Felix.
Yep.
That's yeah. It's weird because as that happens, you sort of see his energy shudder for a second, whereas like the other two get hit by it, and it does nothing to them. It makes his shudder like it's like, oh, he's just on the cusp of it. He was able to do this. As he then, it seems as though like what he's doing is he's sort of moving towards Felix. He touches the ground, and immediately Felix just disappears. But he doesn't teleport, but instead what you see is he just immediately falls right through the floor as Felix is now outside in the water. And I will need you to roll me a Constitution, Felix.
Okay, it is super con, so it is a plus
10. I believe.
10.
Unless if you have higher.
Yeah. No, it's a plus
Wait, hang on.
10.
If my energy mech thing is around the thing, wouldn't he technically hit that first if it's covering the entire submarine?
Yes, but it hasn't created an air bubble.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
This mech be
27?
leaking.
Yeah.
Okay, the pressure of the water hits your entire body, but your body is able to withstand it due to your resistance. You're now holding your breath as you are underwater. Within the side of the energy mech still, but it is also full of water.
And I'm assuming I'm no longer able to go through this solid material.
Yeah. As both of you, Ferb and Anarche, notice that Felix just falls right, just like as if he's just falling right through the ground, but the ground is still there, and then suddenly all you just see is Fergus with his hand touching the floor, and then he removes his hand as soon as Felix has got
Now, so denial was unaffected. Like it didn't matter that I had denial.
He touched the floor and he made the floor intangible.
Floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, to be more semantic about it, he used an ability which pushes. So it creates a spatial distortion that pushes you down, whilst also making the floor intangible. Basically, creating a plug of space. So that therefore, even though that there's a tunnel of matter that is intangible, water's not getting in. Because it's kind of obvious that he doesn't exactly want to drown himself right now.
Yeah.
On the bright side, because you're still inside of the energy mech, you have also realised that you're still able to float around the water like as if it's still water. And you can also see roughly around you, because again, the energy mech is made out of light.
Do we have like a bottom hatch somewhere in the submarine? Did Stan install that?
Stan did not install that, and Stan is currently unaware of what's going on right now because he is currently piloting it. But yeah,
Well, I would assume he knows somewhat what's going on, considering it's still part of him.
Technically, he is not assimilated to it. It is just he can control it and activate it using his powers, because as was stated by Fergus, this entire thing is the equivalent of a massive legendary blood transfused submarine, because it is made from both his flesh turning into objects, and it is an object using his shape-shifting powers. Yeah. So, unless if he's actually fully assimilated into it, he is not aware of what's going on, because it's not like attached to his nervous system.
I assume it would be a bad idea to activate Flying Dreadnought in here?
Probably, yes.
Damn,
you don't have enough room to fly in here, is the problem.
Yeah, that's what I would want to be. It's like, okay, if we could touch the ground and make us fall through, I don't want to be touching the ground.
Doesn't seem like his idea was a stupid idea now, is it? He's nerfing you just by the fact that you can't do as much as you normally could.
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay, how many actions do we get per turn right now? Are we in the combat, or...? Okay.
So right now it is now currently at Felix. So Felix,
Okay.
Again, so at the moment, even though the submarine is moving, you are suspended within this water because that you are basically inside of the energy mech. So although that you are now currently in the situation of there is water and I have to hold my breath, you don't have to worry about the submarine leaving you. So you are technically still flying with the submarine because of the energy mech.
We have a top hatch, right?
You do, yes.
I assume it would take more than my regular movement to get up to the top hatch.
It would take the entirety of the rest of your turn to swim up to it, yes, but at least you'd then be there.
Okay.
And I will say, I won't ask you to roll anything for that, because, as I said, it's basically still water. There's no flow or no movement inside of this sort of barrier. The water is just still. And also, you have super strength, super dexterity, and super constitution. You will definitely get there, even with half your move speed.
Yeah. So I will take my turn to just get up to that hatch.
Okay. We now come to Anarche. So again, you've just seen this happen. Now with the big behemoth out of the way, things are a little easier. We don't want him punching holes through this place, do we?
Wait, that's...
Well, there won't be any holes in the sub, but I will try and put some holes through you!
Firing a gun inside of a submarine, that seems like a terrible idea.
Who says I need to fire bullets?
So, Anarche, what
mean-
will you do?
I could continue to be really basic. But I know he's just going to try that thing again. You know, I guess I'll use my other... I assume one of my bonus actions are constantly being taken up by creating the mech every turn, right?
Well, technically no, because as long as the ribcage isn't damaged or destroyed, technically
Oh yeah, I
it's just
don't need
passive.
to, do I?
The only issue is, whilst that's going on, there is a certain amount of aspect of your powers being continuously used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll activate Predictive Instinct.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my first action. I would say I'd feint him, but a feint would require an extra action to do so, because I don't have a technique specifically designed to doing that.
Sadly, that is also true, yes.
Yeah. And I can't use Energy Mech, because that's, yeah.
Damn, you actually are starting to make Fergus an actual threat because he has that many abilities.
I mean,
annoying.
I had to put him in a situation where it's more the environment that's doing the job for him, really. He's put you between a rock and a hard place. It's less about his powers at this point, and more just the fact that he's caught you with your pants down, rather than him being the ones to pull them down themselves, if that makes sense.
So, I'm gonna turn to Ferb and say, so Ferb, when we were talking about that guy, I think I got a bit confused. You meant something else when you were talking about resonance, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. Why? What did you think?
I have an ability that is similar, I think, to what your concept is, so how about we give yours a go?
I like that plan, boss.
As I will give my action to Ferb to activate this ability.
Now, the only thing is, Ferb, you actually have to get to Anarche.
Well, we're pretty close, aren't we?
Yeah, you're about 3 meters. So yeah, you can try, but I will say, probably more than likely, Fergus is now going to try and react against this. So,
but we'd both be able to react because it's a directional thing.
You absolutely can, yes. So I was going to say, I'm going to try and roll for his reaction, and then you can go ahead and tell me what kind of things, as he's going to try and basically launch fire towards both of you using pyrokinesis.
Cool. Alright. I will attempt to use phasing light to let him set himself on fire.
I guess I will use emergency fire, but using only Sonic to hit, if not to hit the fire. Basically.
Remember, you don't have any limbs at the moment transformed.
Yes, but emergency fire allows me to reactively transform and shoot. I just have to beat a roll.
Emergency fire. I'm pretty sure emergency fire was just that you just shoot, not reactively transform and shoot.
No, it's transform reactively.
Is it a usage style?
It's a defensive style.
Okay, I don't think that you would have the ability to do both in one.
Run, my Ferber boy, run.
Okay. Then I will use dexterity to finesse my way over.
Okay. Is that sorry, Kane, is that your...
I got a 34. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's yeah, okay. And then, yeah, roll Dex, Ferb. Okay.
Got a 12.
But I mean, finesse doesn't
Yes,
work. Finesse doesn't work that way, but because finesse, you don't actually move. You only dodge. It's actually acrobatics.
Yes, it's acrobatics.
It's fine. He's used up his reaction. It's fine.
So as he uses his ability to attack, Anarche, what was yours again? You're using phasing light.
Yeah, I'm essentially creating a portal and then portaling it behind him, so he essentially just sets himself on fire.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Because spoiler alert, that actually works.
I
first
certainly
time
hope so. With
yeah, I was going to say the first time in ages that like phasing light has actually worked. Like it's not the first time it's worked, but it's the first time in a long time. As he sort of generates like a large amount of fire, as it sort of like focuses it into like a little ball of red light in his hand and fires it towards you. You then open up a portal, and then a portal opens up right next to him as he just gets hit, as he sort of ignites himself ablaze. Dealing damage to himself. It is now actually your turn, Ferb. As
Toasty!
you as you now have the opportunity to use your action that Anarche gave you.
Okay. Can I now use weapon resonance with Anarche?
You're not currently turned into a weapon, so you'll have to transform first.
I can do it with just partial weapon transformation.
You haven't got any partial weapon parts yet, have you?
Let me transform this!
Then roll for it then! Stop trying to resonate before you've even transformed!
Alright. Try for Trilib.
There you go.
All three!
Okay. So you've now gone for which limbs? I'm assuming arms and head.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's no point in transforming my leg. That would slow me down.
Okay. You still have two actions.
As-
That was the action that Anarche gave you. You now have two actions, which are the actions that you have.
I'll ask, boss, can I have a handle?
Yeah, sure. I'll give him a hand.
Alright, I will try to resonate. $22.
Now I have to make a roll, right, for this ability?
Indeed you do. But it's up to you if you want to roll willpower or if you want to roll spirit.
I will roll spirits. 20.
Awesome. Yep, that works.
Alright. Do you want to explain the ability, Connor?
Well, with soul weapon resonance, if you have seen Soul Eater, it's basically the same thing. Both persons are now connected as one through Soul Link. We both have access to each other's abilities and can influence each other that way. Normally, it would be through a weapon, like a Meister normally has, but with partial, you'll be able to give me your energy damage, and I think you can access my sonic.
So?
So basically, you can give him your energy. So the way that it works is you can give him your energy attacks, and you can even manipulate his bullets or even the things that he fires out because it's your energy that you're lending him. Also, because of the elemental rounds factor, he can choose whether or not it adds sonic damage to your energy shots from his guns, or if he shoots out sonic blasts that are coated in energy. So in other words, either the energy hits them, they then take sonic damage, or they then get hit with energy that also deals sonic along with it. So sort of like, in other words, he can choose what it's with. In other words, he can choose which is the initial damage, the sonic damage or the energy damage when he's firing them. Because he can either fire your energy and coat it with sonic, or fire sonic and coat it with your energy.
Nice.
Also, both of you will have access to the two main passives, which are the energy sensing.
Welcome to my world. You now have 100 meters worth of energy sense.
Oh, it's like I can sense everything within my weapon range as well as see them. Anyway, Fergus, time to light you up. As I will shoot Sonic, coated in energy.
Okay. And Anarche, you are able to also give a hand by rolling, as the both of you, since you're resonating, will be able to roll, as he'll be able to roll for his Gunman Martial Arts, or SP, or SPMA, and you'll also be able to roll either Accuracy, or SP, or SPMA, and it will be considered as an advantage. In other words,
nice.
he rolls one part, and you roll the other part.
Alright, I assume you're rolling your gun martial arts.
It's my best roll, so...
Yeah, I'll roll SP. And Joe, I guess I'll say, although I'm aiming to hit Fergus, I'm also going to try and aim to minimize the possible effects of his Sonic with my energy.
Okay, so is it going to be Sonic Blast coated in energy then?
Yes. Because it's probably best not to use actual live munitions at this point.
Yeah.
Though, if he can manipulate the energy and the bullets are coated in energy, can he manipulate the bullets?
Yes.
Well, then I might as well light him up.
Well, I mean, we still want to be careful though.
Ah, too late, he's already said it now.
Well, alright. Well, you got 32. Alright, so.
Okay. And then you also roll.
And I got 31.
Okay. Yeah. Roll damage.
What's your energy damage?
Anarche, you roll your energy and, obviously, willpower and all that stuff, damage.
Yeah.
And Ferb, roll your stuff. Which... Nice.
Wait,
and then
should I roll
Yeah.
BPA?
Yeah, roll BPA. I mean... Spoiler alert, you don't need to, considering that damage alone kills him, even if he had maximum health.
Doubled!
So that's what is that? That's 118 plus 77, which is then, let me, 118 plus 77. So with the 70, that's then 188. Then plus the 7 onto that, that's then 194. Think no, 195. Yeah, 195. Which, by the way, yeah, that definitely kills him. Because he's still damaged. Even though he
only healed the injuries. Yeah,
he healed. Let me put it this way: he didn't even heal half the damage you dealt to him when you punched him.
yeah.
So when he gets hit by this, he gets shot twice, and then immediately he begins to sort of melt as it just goes. As he just disappears into nothing.
Finally, shuts up.
I know, right? It's really annoying.
God, you have had to deal with him for this long?
Yeah, you can see why I didn't want to make that deal.
Mad respect for putting up.
Yeah. Right. Well, as you can probably sense, which is weird to say now, Felix is near the entrance, so you should probably go and explain the situation to him. I'm going to make sure we can outrun this turtle.
Alright.
Felix is near the entrance. Felix using labor to enter in and close the door.
So
getting too much water in.
Yeah, you get up to the top of it. Roll me labor.
Yeah, I'd guess that it'd be labor.
Yeah.
Because what else would it be?
I think it's the most straightforward labor roll that we've ever had as well.
22.
So you begin opening it. It is sort of jammed in a certain way, probably because of the amount of pressure of water. As you keep doing so, you do eventually open it, but then you notice a large rush of water coming out from beneath your feet as it's going in. As Anarche, where are you going? Did you say?
I was essentially I wasn't really going anywhere. I guess I would go somewhat nearer to the entrance, but my main plan was to essentially help with the speed of the submarine.
And where were you going, Ferb? Oh yeah, you going to the hatch to explain it.
I was going to help Felix.
So you get near to the hatch as suddenly a massive influx of water begins pouring in at such a pace. It begins destroying parts of the equipment as it begins to like flood the sort of like second floor as it just begins gushing over everywhere. You begin getting in, Felix, as you're sort of like in this water as you're sort of climbing through. Roll me labor once again.
Okay.
I don't suppose there's a bunch of sandbags sitting near the entrance.
No.
Wow,
Pretty
so
fair.
underprepared.
That wasn't on the list of things that that Stan made for the submarine. You finally get in and close it and seal it shut, but not before a large quantity of water has now flooded the first floor of the main deck.
Welcome back.
God, I wish we still had Fletcher.
Miss your old partner.
Somewhat, it's more that his power would be very useful in not getting water.
Well, Fergus is melted.
I expected as much.
If we can get Aldous back up, we might get him to be able to turn the water into air.
Alright. Where's he at?
He dropped down next to where an RK was down when we first saw him. So, back where Fergus was.
Out of curiosity, did the water reach Aldous?
No, so Aldous and the others
Okay.
were actually on the second floor. As I said, you had to rush up the stairs, so
Okay,
the water had
cool.
to go to the first floor before it, and it would have had to fully flood it before it got to the second one.
Just imagining water splashing Aldous in the face.
Or just take him to the bottom of the ship.
Alright.
There you go, Aldous. We'll keep you at the bottom of the ship. This will be really safe. Oh no, Aldous! No.
So I guess
It's flooding.
we'll head to Aldous. I assume he's just unconscious. He's not like dying, right? I mean,
So when you get to him, you do notice that he is unconscious. He's out of all of his transformations, but he is unconscious. There doesn't seem to be anything amiss with him, which kind of... It makes sense, especially to Ferb, because he never got close enough to... Fergus never got close enough to Aldous for him to be able to do anything. And RK, we come to you. What exactly are you doing?
Energy mech goes bruh. Just shooting beams with the sonic blast to create a further distance between us and the giant turtle thing.
Just as a reminder, resonance ended the second that you guys let go of each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Huh?
Yeah, go for it. Roll SB.
I think we resonated one last time.
Yeah. 18.
You start trying to do so, sort of like creating these big waves and these big slashes, sort of trying to create these, blasts to make it go. It doesn't seem to be helping at the moment. The turtle, in fact, is actually getting closer and closer towards the bottom. At this point, its head is actually around about 10, 20 meters away from the tail of the submarine.
Alright. Fine. Oh yeah. I don't know if you're allowed this because I've already rolled. Yeah, no, sure. I guess I'll have to reactivate predictive instinct, right? At this point.
You can.
Or would you say I can still?
If you roll it, I'll say that it counts as just carrying it on.
Cool. Alright, I'll roll it now. 19.
Okay.
And then for my other action, I guess I'm gonna try and make the weaponry for my energy mech.
Okay, roll for it.
Oh, natural 20. Yeah.
You know what? With that natural 20, I'll give you two choices. Either the weapon
Okay.
will do double the damage that it should do, or you'll make the weapon and you get another action to do something else.
Ooh. You know, I'll take the action.
Okay. So you create the sword out of energy.
Yes. And the turtle's pretty close to the head of it, right?
Yeah, to the tail of the submarine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna, I guess. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna try and hit it with the sword.
Okay. Is this for damage or injury?
You know what? I'm gonna say injury, and I'm gonna go and try if it's possible to hit one of its like flippers.
Okay.
30.
Ooh, that's a solid hit. That is. There is only one problem.
Did you just get a nat 20?
No, the creature has an insanely high super constitution. So you hit it, and at most it does is slightly cut its fin. As a little bit, like as you sort of.
Does that convert to damage though, or does it just?
No. It will. It would theoretically deal damage, but it wouldn't count as you dealing damage. Because I didn't match your roll. It was just it's so close to your roll that it causes a very minor injury.
Fair enough.
Ow! This is a slight inconvenience. As you suddenly hear like a large sort of like weird roar. As it vibrates the whole of the submarine. And all of you can hear this.
Whatever it is, it's not too happy. I'm gonna get up to boss, Felix. You keep an eye on all this.
Will do. I feel just like Princess holding all this.
Well, he has got the tiara on.
Does have the tiara.
Eventually you get to Anarche, Ferb.
What's going on, boss?
I mean, I will just say to Ferb, look, obviously you probably understand what I'm doing, but it just looks like I'm staring at a wall at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I knew what all your parts were, so...
Yeah. Yeah, the tunnel thing's pretty close, in striking distance, so...
Fair. I don't suppose you could make the giant mech swim to get us to go faster?
I suppose I could, but at the minute, the mech is kind of the only thing, aside from one gun on top, it's kind of the only thing protecting the submarine, so...
I don't suppose you would be able to make the mech have a gun?
I mean, I could, but I don't really think it would do anything.
That's true.
Okay, well... I have a idea. Well, actually, no, that's a terrible idea. Ignore me.
Now you've made me horribly curious. What was the idea?
Alright, well, I was going to create a dome of energy around you to give you an air bubble and then send you out inside my energy mech, but you wouldn't be able to shoot out, so it would be pointless.
Yeah. I like that idea, though, but...
I'd have to somehow create a vacuum within, like, the head of it somehow, and then get you in there with you enough air to live, and then have holes that you can shoot it, but the water would pour in. Yeah.
Well, if the holes were at the bottom, no, I still need to stick guns out.
Yeah.
We might just have to resurface.
Alright, I think the tail might be doing something.
Oh shit!
As I was going to say, you suddenly notice an influx of strange energy permeate throughout this entire ship for a second. The energy is not in. Well, what's up?
Please tell me it's all this making the water go away.
No.
No.
So
Damn.
again, yeah, Anarche, you feel this weird energy sort of permeate through the entirety of the ship. It's an energy that you feel like you recognize before, but you're not entirely too sure yet.
I think we have other guests. Again.
I'm kind of starting to think the sub idea wasn't the best.
You have abilities to sense without my abilities, right?
One sec. As I activate instinctive will.
I just realised your instinctive will, your special instinctive will, is actually what is it? What's the distance of it?
Let's see. What is the base?
At 10.
All right, so it's 60 because I took 5 buffs.
Oh, okay, yeah. By the way, you do know that you need to roll.
Oh yeah, perception. Damn it!
Yeah.
I always forget.
Because I was just realising that technically this means that you'd be able to sense roughly everything within the. Oh, never mind.
No.
As
No.
yeah, Narco, you feel like a very weird influx of energy just sort of sweep over this place. There isn't a particular energy signature yet, not a particular person, but we now cut back to Felix. Felix, you're princess holding
Right.
Aldous right now.
Softly trying to slap him awake. Softly.
Wishing some water into him.
As you then suddenly hear just a sort of weird sort of voice like behind you. I want to point out 5 minutes so far has passed, so you've lost about 5 points in your stockpile. You hear a voice just slightly behind you going, I don't think that's going to work.
I guess Felix will turn around.
You see a face all too familiar to you, as you notice it's Simakael's body, which is more than likely being controlled by Fergus.
Welcome back.
Welcome indeed. You see, I used my ability on him, or should I say, my clone used my telepathic abilities on him. So far, he'll be out like a light for at least another couple of minutes. And snapping him awake isn't going to help him. I put him in a lovely little dream, so right now he shouldn't be exactly leaving so easily.
Fair enough. Felix will set him down.
So, it's good to see that you are getting on with the rest of your team. But I'm wondering, isn't it that you would want all of this for yourself? To have the power of the Miracle Stone to change what has been taken from you?
I have good enough faith that Anarche will make things right with his decisions on the Miracle Stone.
You want to trust a stranger from another world who didn't even care about his own world enough to stay there. One who has been tarnishing this entire world just for the sake of a little bit of fun. And yet, you trust him.
Gotta hold on to hope, even if it seems like there's none left.
Well, I might have one for you. There's a possibility that you and I could work together.
You have the floor.
That's something I appreciate about you, Felix, is that you and I have always at least known that diplomacy is at least necessary for us to have civility. Okay. I wanted to say something very important, and that is, there is another way that your family can be saved without the Miracle Stone. But also, there is another opportunity. If you are to defeat an Arche, then you might actually be able to get the Miracle Stone yourself. And I would throw any and every possible resource to keeping you safe for those 24 hours. All I ask in return is that we make sure that when it comes due, that I at the very least get to see for myself the Miracle Stone. I won't need to touch it. I promise you, you have the wish, and I don't exactly go back on my deals. I just wanted to see its glory. So what do you think?
I guess, should I make like an insight check?
Are you trying to see if he's lying or not?
I generally don't think that he's lying. And like Felix is -1 to insight. I would say the same. It's really like, would Felix take this deal?
I feel like that's a decision you have to make.
I know, that's what I'm thinking on it.
I feel like it would either be a nerve or a willpower check, because it's something that, like, you know, do you trust an Arche versus do you trust Fergus? But also it's that thing of, is this deal a good enough deal that Felix would want to have this happen? Because something that is also quite important is, although that it seems as though Eden wants to kill you, the war is pretty much guaranteed to end if you can get an Arche to either leave or to die. Is pretty much another sort of thing that he's been saying for the last sort of 24 hours. Whenever Fergus speaks to you, it's like, either we work together or we kill an Arche. Because the war was started by him.
I guess I'll make this a willpower roll. You can set the DC, obviously.
Okay, I've got an idea for the DC.
Okay. And I'm just straight willpower. So just a +8.
Okay.
16.
No deal, no dice. This guy is the reason as to why that your family died. Whether it was on purpose or not. Also, yeah, you've made deals with him before. Yeah, he might be telling the truth. But at the same time, Felix isn't going to dick over someone like this, because, yes, it's true. Anarche was a stranger, and he is a complete lunatic in a lot of situations, but at the same time, he had no reason to tell you anything at all, but at one point he said that he was going to make sure that he used the stone to bring back your family. And he had no reason to lie. There's no reason for him to gain advantage, because when he spoke to you about it, you weren't having a crisis with him. He wasn't trying to win you over. It was just literally in a moment where he actually got a chance to speak to you. And in this particular time, this is also something that doesn't help with it. Fergus is not only not speaking in his accent, but he's also speaking through the face of the man who killed your family.
Well, I appreciate the offer. I think I will stick with what I have so far.
I was really hoping that this wasn't going to be the case. After all, my dear friend, I was really hoping that we could have settled some things. But, I guess it was never meant to be.
I guess not. Best of luck to you on your endeavors.
Oh no, you too, you too, absolutely. Just real quick. I've noticed, Fletcher, he's not with you recently. So I'm only gonna ask this once. Did he die against Simakael?
Correct, yes.
Fascinating. Then I know where I need to go.
Are you planning to revive a pile of ash?
I'm looking to bring back something that he took from me.
Fair enough.
I'll let you get on with whatever you need to get on with. Somewhat.
Same to you. Have a pleasant evening, or whatever time it is. We're in the bottom of the ocean, I can't really tell time.
Fair enough. Oh, probably should leave you with this. He then starts moving very quickly and erratically, as it seems as though he's like going to try and put his hands down to the ground.
Okay. I guess is this like a dex evasion, or
You're close enough to him that it's up to you what you want to react with.
I'll go with evasion.
Okay.
So I'm not necessarily looking for combat, but I don't want to be out in the ocean again.
Okay.
32.
You indeed dodge back. You even grab Aldous with you as well as you sort of go backwards. However, he touches the ground as the ground begins bending and then immediately bursts open as water begins rushing in. As he then just goes, "See you later, sucker," as he just disappears. As Anarche, you've sort of like been watching this using your energy sense, and then suddenly Felix's the best way to explain it is Felix's entire energy starts sort of going odd and erratic, moves and moves and then suddenly moves along with Aldous', as suddenly you hear this big crunch, and suddenly you hear massive amounts of water going in, and you can suddenly feel the submarine practically stop dead in the water as this thing suddenly goes right towards the tail.
Stupid question, but is there any way I could focus like my gauntlets do different types of elements, one of those being ice? Is there a way for me to focus that ice into a punch and try to like freeze the hole?
If you're lucky enough, it could land on that, yes.
Well, I don't necessarily want to put lightning, energy, or fire.
I mean, fire is a free nothing happens.
I make some steam.
Okay. So it was one action. I still, because I haven't, if it was like a turn in combat, I would still have an action, right?
Yes, yeah.
Alright. Then I guess I'll just be trying combos, but with the express purpose of actually like trying to freeze the water. So
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to actually roll like damn, because I'm punching water.
I'd say roll however many combos that you can get in a row to try and see if you can do it or not.
I can do about 3, I believe.
Okay, roll. I guess. Yeah, roll it.
Yeah.
D20 plus 16. And again, and again, and again. Then we can roll a D4 for each time until you get ice. And obviously, if you don't get ice until the third one, that's fair enough. If you do get ice on the first or second, you can stop rolling the D4.
I mean, I'm hitting water. I assume all these hit.
Yeah. No, they all hit. It's more about whether or
Okay.
not you were going to get the combos. Because if you got a natural 1, then it would just have ended.
Right.
Yeah.
So I assume we're not bothering to roll actual damage, just 3d4s.
No. It's just yeah. So you just roll 3d4s, and we're looking for one of them to at least land on the number that is
And
for
let
ice.
me. Ice is. Let me scroll up. Is 2. So
Okay, let's go.
gotta get a 2 on the d4.
Gotta get a
Give us the 2 berries.
Okay, so
That
the first
is
one.
lightning.
So immediately it becomes electrified water.
Yeah,
Which
cool.
is sort of not great.
That's a once. That's fire.
The next time it just sizzles. Sort of like, sort of when you put like water on a hot skillet.
And then
Lightning
Oh!
more
again.
lightning.
As the entire water becomes even more electrified as it goes in. As lights begin to flicker throughout the entire facility. As Anarche, I ask you this question again. You sense this, you hear this, and then you suddenly sense this thing just dash closer and closer as the submarine is beginning to lose all of its propulsion.
So I can only react to one of these things, I assume, or do I have actions now?
I'm going to say you have 3 possible actions, but only the first one. I will say only the first one will be to the turtle. If you want to stop the turtle, or you can just have 3 free actions. It will bite the tail, and
Well, I'll have to go through the mech, right? Oh, I guess the tails would be outside the mech.
the tail is outside the mech. Yeah.
Fuck. Alright, well, first of all, I'll stop the turtle.
Okay.
And because I have predictive instinct going, I will have advantage.
Kick it in the snoot.
Okay.
My brain had like the stupidest idea, which was using
Please tell.
patch job to try and patch up.
I mean, it's bioorganic.
I got a 31.
You stop it. How do you stop it?
Is it going for a bite?
It is going for a bite. Yeah, big old chomp.
Cool. I'm gonna fucking eat the sword into the top of its jaw.
Cool. Is this for damage or injury?
Yes. I will go dams this time.
Okay, roll dams.
6 is
I'm
plus.
really. Did I?
25.
I didn't take a short rest, did I?
I don't believe you did, no.
No, you just kept training.
All right.
And
So yeah, it was only 3. Otherwise, I could have had one more attack.
109.
109, nice. You stab into it. It doesn't seem to get too deep into it, but you do stop it as it sort of redirects it as it bites upwards. As now the sword is stuck in between its sort of like mouth, in between its jaw. As you now have 2 other actions.
Alright, cool. Well, first bonus is going to be keeping my predictive instinct up.
Okay, and this counts as a bonus action, yeah.
Yeah, natural 20. of
With a
course.
natural 20, it also does, yeah.
Well, I mean, unless it beats a 30 with its attack, I basically can automatically stop it, I guess. So. Alright, how the fuck do I stop a flooding ship from happening? How far away is this happening?
About 20 meters away.
Oh, so it's in my... It is in my move speed, then.
It's in both your move speed and your teleport range. I mean, technically anything inside of this place is in your teleport range anyway.
Alright, cool.
And also in your energy manipulation range.
Yes,
Everything
as
is in this energy
I
range.
run over there, bonus action, open up a portal, pull out the axe.
Okay.
And as I get to this water...
Felix punching the water.
Yeah, this is a fucking stupid idea. But fuck it, I'll try it. I would like to use the somewhat weather manipulation ability to essentially spin the axe round and create a wind pressure that is essentially forcing the water back out where it came from.
Ooh.
Okay.
Will I have to make any sort of save for this?
You will not, and yet. Like, so
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
Like, my reasoning being, I am kind of punching the water around the hole.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Alright, I guess I'm using energy and coating it and spinning it, if that still works.
Yeah.
Cool. 34.
Wow, some really good rolls. Yeah, so you activate this thing, so you sort of... It dives into the water and begins sort of like electrocuting it, turning it into clouds. However, the water still just keeps rushing in even whilst that's happening. As it begins, all of the water that is pouring in is becoming electrified, and now steam is just hitting all of you throughout this as people's vision begins to get a little difficult. Felix, yours is probably the worst considering you're wearing glasses.
Yeah.
So,
Also, just thought I'd ask, the hole is on the floor, right?
the hole is on the wall.
On the wall. That makes more sense to how the water's getting in.
So
if
is
it's on
the
floor.
wind pressure actually pushing any of this out, or is it just...
It's not able to push enough of it out.
Alright then. I still have my other action. I guess I will... I'm trying to think how else I could do this. I can't make physical things with energy unless it's specific techniques, can I?
Depends. What are you trying to make?
I couldn't make like an
Cork.
energy wall or well, actually, I can make energy barriers, right? So could I make a barrier where the hole is to essentially...
You could make an energy wall, yeah. The only problem is that you'd have to keep focusing on it and keep rolling successes.
Yeah,
to
so it'd
do
be
so.
every turn, essentially, using up an action constantly to...
Yeah, and also just to throw this out there, since you would be doing that and you'd have your energy mech, you probably wouldn't be able to generate or manipulate any other further energy factors.
Well, sadly, I don't think I have any ways of stopping water. I didn't get that in my physics book.
Do we have that folding table still? Just prop that up.
It's a little bigger than the folding table.
Man. What else did we have? We had an office chair, a squash.
I just want to point out
An entire wardrobe.
At this point, the submarine has practically stopped moving forward.
Yes. Alright, I guess... Alright, screw it. I guess I will try and make an energy barrier.
Okay.
Actually... Wait, hang on, what do I need to...
We could always
I don't
grab
know if you're
everyone and teleport out
you
of here.
have one action. But would I be able to use the Animite power gem thing and get that to make the energy wall in one action, or would that be multiple actions?
Does it have power in it?
I believe so, because you power it with the specific element that you're using for it.
I don't think it would be, actually, because any time that you've ever powered it, it's always been inside the barrier.
Oh, yeah, so
Yeah.
it would be... Yeah, okay, so it would be 2 actions, sorry. In that case, then, for now, I will just create an energy barrier.
Okay.
Stop more water coming in. No, I won't.
You go to try and do so, and immediately you're sort of blasted back by the pressure of the water. The water has now completely flooded the second floor, and it's beginning to get up to everyone's sort of like feet now. In the second floor. As you then just hear on the tannoy, just from Stan, is just like, yeah, we're gonna have to abandon ship, guys. Like.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
I believe there is no real combat to this at this point. It is just free form. So I mean,
Cool.
yeah.
Can I just run around grabbing everyone I can? There's not that many people on the ship. You know, grab Anake, grab all this. Just
Yeah, you'll be able to grab Anarchy and Aldous. You will be able to get to Ferb if you keep going back on yourself. Yeah.
just trying to get everyone to one place so we can teleport out of here.
Okay. Anarche, you suddenly get grabbed by Fergus. Fergus?
Fergus.
You suddenly get grabbed by Fergus.
You suddenly get grabbed by Felix, who has also then just grabbed Aldous and is beginning to run down the hall.
Do I have the axe?
The axe is like as soon as like you got that natural one, the axe begins like falling into the water in the main part of the.
I wanna use a reaction as I'm being grabbed to the energy bring it to me.
Okay, roll for it.
28.
Yeah, your energy sort of like dives in, grabs it, and then like pulls it towards you.
Cool.
As you begin running down this hallway as it's beginning getting flooded, Ferb, you now see them just coming towards you.
Hey, Felix! We're evacuating! Let's go!
Yep.
Way
ahead of
Jump
you.
up and probably get immediately swooped up.
As you're now carrying 3 of your teammates, you now realise that you're going to have to go all the way around because you're now at the tail end, and Stan is all the way at the front end along with his clone.
No, we're just gonna teleport to Stan, I think.
Okay, roll for it.
Where's the box?
As I guess, do you have a hold of Ferb at this point?
I assume Ferb is on my back. Like, I assume they jumped on. Either that or I scooped them up.
Felix
So,
is
yes.
surprisingly comfy for how muscly he is.
He is. Yes.
You all suddenly just sort of see like a flash of white light as you're now suddenly in the main cockpit. As you just see Stan just going, Anarche, get us the hell out of here.
Yes.
Alright
then.
Stan, where's your other clone?
The clone is just sort of like peeking over and just sort of like waving at you.
Okay, we can go.
I guess I'm just gonna teleport all of us into my pocket dimension for the time being.
Fair enough. You do so. The clone and Stan end up getting there.
That's enough anyway. Like,
Yep. As you're now inside of your pocket dimension. Everyone made it, except from Subby, the submarine.
Did we name the submarine?
No,
No,
I
we
just
never
did that.
It's like, I don't remember calling it Subby ever.
No.
no, we did not.
As you know, as like you guys are sort of just like taking a chill for a second, as suddenly you just suddenly hear a voice, an ecstatic voice. Ah, it's you! As one of the orbs just floats down. One of the Animite orbs just floats down. Anarche and friends. It is good to see you.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's just some on-go tech. Hey, how you doing?
It has been a long time since I've last spoken to you. I did notice that you got into the pocket dimension earlier. However, you were somewhat in a hurry.
Yeah, kind of still am.
Everything going okay?
Mostly.
It seems...
There's an orb staring at us, all drenched.
Yeah. It seems as though one of
Wait.
your compatriots is currently unconscious.
Yes, we'll have to sort that out. Sorry about this. Right. Any ideas where we should go?
Has this orb been here this entire time?
Well, there's 2 of them.
There's 2!
Did you get anything back from those people in looking for I believe it was the Ring of Forgotten?
Well, I'm not gonna get signal at the moment, so
Alright.
we'll find out if we go somewhere with signal, I guess. And I can't really get back to Iris City because that hero guy's just off. Can't really be bothered to deal with that at the moment.
So, well, it's probably best to go someplace warmer, given we are drenched.
Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere cold.
I know a desert. So in the middle of nowhere, but it's a desert.
The one we were randomly teleported to?
Yes.
Fair enough.
At least we'll dry off, quick.
I mean, do we have any water supplies? Did we ever buy like
Yes,
bottled
you
water
still
or anything?
have it from the from when you were taking like multiple days of supplies and stuff. Like it's still just there.
Cool. Alright, nice. Alright, well, we'll live in the desert then. We won't dehydrate. So the desert it is, I guess.
So you open up your dimensional portal. I'm assuming that you take everyone with you except from the orb.
Yeah, Orby boys will be fine. They've got the machines to keep them company.
As you go through this portal, I'm gonna say, Felix, you're holding Aldous as you go through it. You're in the desert as the heat beams down upon you, as it just sort of completely makes itself aware, like an entire solidified wall of air hits you. You immediately feel this sensation of dryness, even whilst most of you are still somewhat wet. It's a very strong feeling of heat beaming down on you with the bright sort of sun. However, it does seem to be setting, so it's not as hot as it should be.
I assume at the minute it's just blank desert everywhere.
Yeah, just sand, and more sand.
Well, don't suppose there's like any underground compartments like in the desert right now?
I don't know. I guess I'll roll Aura Sense to see if there's any life forms in seemingly underground caverns.
Roll for it.
I think Felix will go ahead and detransform.
Okay, by the way, you're at 20 points now.
Cool.
Nice.
Yes, with your 400 meter range of your energy sense, you can sense a few creatures here and there. Nothing too big deal, sort of thing. Nothing underground, at least. But a few sort of creepy crawlies within sort of the radius of you. You don't sense any people, any life forms larger or stronger than even the insects. You don't sense anything in particular out in any directions whatsoever.
Alright, well, guess we'll be able to keep an eye out, but we might have to keep camping. Also, we should probably move, because it's probably not the best to be right next to the teleportation section, so...
Fair.
At least we get a bit of a breather.
Well, I don't know for how long.
Yeah, but any time is better than no time.
True.
This is glorious warmth.
Well, for a second, you know how deserts work, right?
Yeah, they get colder as the night goes on.
Yep.
So you just head out in a random direction?
Sure. I'll roll a d4 to see what direction we go.
Left, right, back, or forward?
I guess... back.
Southeast.
Okay. So you
Never eat,
you
but yes,
turn
you walk
turn
south.
180 from where you were looking, and then you begin walking that way. Some time passes as you're sort of going through the desert. Your energy sense begins to obviously lower over time, but it's still within 100 meters. You notice if it's still a few more creepy crawlies, but nothing seems to be sort of going towards you or anything. Until
Sam's not be so pissed because he could have talked to the animals.
until you eventually come to sort of a large, sort of a very large mushroom, just in the middle of nowhere.
What the?
Yeah, if I've learned anything from traveling to multiple worlds, it's don't trust anything.
Maybe it's friendly. Who knows?
That's just not going to be true.
It's a giant mushroom.
Well, time to practice some target practice.
Well, probably not best to make a loud noise, you know.
Also, best to not provoke anything.
Yeah. Also, if this turns out to be a live thing, then violence will happen, which will mean the thing will be recorded.
Oh, damn, you're right.
Yeah.
I just need to stop thinking about war.
Should we just set up camp?
Preferably away from the mushroom, yeah.
Yeah.
You continue going for a while further. You start noticing that there's a few things that are starting to crawl around. There's suddenly like a cluster of what seem to be crabs. The closer you get to them, until eventually they're about like 20 meters away from you, and there's like a cluster of about 10 crabs, just walking sideways, just going off on their own little adventure. As the day is beginning to day is beginning to set, you still have enough light to see, but it's just very odd. This little cloud of crabs, sort of like moving across the sands.
Why are there crabs in the desert? That makes no. What is wrong with your biology in this world? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not gonna yelling at the sky.
Yeah. Why, God? Why? Oh wait, not real.
I don't know why these are here, but they're kind of cute. Can we keep one?
Why?
Just look at the little pinchies he's got. Just look at that face.
I don't trust crabs. I went to a universe once where they were the dominant species. It didn't end well.
That's a story I feel like we're gonna hear at some point.
Yeah, you're tough to tell me that story when we set up camp, but is that a no?
Yeah, that's a no. I don't trust crabs. Never did since then.
I mean, hey, if need be, we could cook.
Yes.
But we have muffins, guys.
Do we?
For like what?
Do we?
3,000 of them?
I have 2,970 something. Of
Look,
course we have muffins.
I wasn't sure what all was taken.
Oh, he took like 20. It's like, nothing.
Still, man cannot live on muffin alone.
That's just not true.
For the most part, unless you
I
have.
mean, how do you think I have this physique form, Muffins.
This during this conversation, the duration of this conversation, the crabs have just sort of gone off into the distance by this point.
No, they go.
Felix, let's get some crab meat.
I don't feel like going through the effort.
I mean, I could literally blast the shells off them.
Isn't that just gonna blow? Right, I'm just gonna make a fire. Let's make a fire.
Yeah, we're setting up camp here?
Sure, why not?
Alright. Dirt nap.
I like the idea. It's like great, and just falls into the sand and just suddenly starts burying himself.
Yeah. All this
Like a
on top
turtle,
of the
just like-
pile.
Yeah, just roll me. Whatever the perk is for. Is it survivalist?
It's survivalist. I need a 15 plus, I believe.
Okay.
So D20 plus 10.
So you need a 15, right, Jeesh?
Yeah.
Well, just for all the audience out there, what did you get?
A 14.
Oh, that's such a shame.
The one time you
one
actually
time.
get to use it.
And it doesn't even get to be used.
I mean, I can use it in whenever next you allow me to run.
I mean,
Not
doesn't
for
it if
this
it
hour.
fails, it's an actual
Not
short
for-
rest?
not- I can only use it once per hour.
Technically, it's like once per short rest, but considering you failed it, I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to use it just yet.
You're too high strung.
So, yeah, you sort of sit down, put some, get some stuff. When you say set up camp, what do you mean by setting up camp?
Basic camp. Stan can make basic camp.
Stan can make basic camp. Stan,
Just a fire. Nothing that stands out too much.
Well,
but-
around about this time, Aldous does actually eventually come to. Stan starts making some stuff, and eventually Aldous is able to turn the stuff into actual wood. Once he turns it all into wood, he then pretty much is able to just sort of create some fire and sort of get a sort of a campfire going. At this point, Anarche, you sort of at one point sort of catch a glimpse on the sort of inner of your sort of the inner of your arm, which by the way is still very badly like hurting from the fact that the bone is cracked. You notice on the clock it's now saying that you have 11 hours and 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Checking your messages, boss.
Oh, I don't get messages. I don't think. I checked my phone. Do I have any messages?
You don't, although it does also say that you have no signal.
Yeah, I don't get messages.
Fair. You should probably talk to Aldous about getting your arm fixed.
Aldous just literally moves his hand, like waves his hand, and immediately it's corrected.
Oh.
Or he could be listening into the conversation.
Oh,
Cheers,
you can-
Aldous!
Yeah.
He just nods, like, whatever I can do to help.
Praise be Animite, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aldous. Praise Animate.
I would have done a Northern Irish accent too, but I don't think that would have been.
No, probably best not to.
You just have to talk about car bombs a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. Moving on very swiftly. Yeah, so.
Somebody say boom!
Fuck's sake. Yeah, so you've got your stuff set up and you've now been healed. You sort of sat there, sort of chilling out. Would you like to attempt for a short rest?
I assume I can't be alert and short rest at the same time.
Felix will hand you a sleep pill, which halves the time for any rest.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep.
Are you sure, boss? You've been up longer than all of us.
I mean, yes, but I will get considerably weaker if I don't. If I do go to sleep.
Suit
Also,
yourself.
I'm the only one who
Pill.
can. I'm the only one who can sense relatively decently in this group.
I mean, I have pretty decent weapon distance. So I'd be able to shoot anything.
I'm more talking about people sneaking up on us.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Trey.
Felix pops a pill, tries to go to sleep.
So are you gonna take a short rest then, which will obviously be halved?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go from it's like usually 3
It's
hours.
3
Yeah, so it's an hour and a
yeah.
half, yeah.
Yeah.
However, there is a downside to you taking the sleeping pill, isn't there? Which is you can't be awoken until after that hour and a half.
It is true, I believe.
Gunner, do you want the pill? Do you want to rest?
No,
So,
we shouldn't have too many of our heavy hitters sleeping. They'll have us
Fair
at a
enough.
tactical disadvantage.
I also ask, given that it's technically giving into addiction, does my
Yes, it does, yeah.
D10?
Yes, D10 plus a D20.
Well, this isn't the this is the sleep pill, not the chill pill. So, is the plus 20?
Yeah. So the D10 plus a D20 is actually whenever you go into the vice, or whenever someone else does a vice in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
25.
So,
Nice.
So just real quick, Aldous states that he could try and create like a large sort of spatial construct around you guys, trying to basically create like a very large barrier. So therefore, at least most people who would try and get to you guys would have to slam into this barrier and break it before that we would be, made fully aware of them. If they were trying to sneak, they would slam against the barrier.
But people can still teleport inside.
Yes, but it would limit the possibility of just randos sneaking up on you. Teleportation isn't out of the question, but at least it limits the
I'm
problem.
not really concerned about randos though.
Yeah, it's the main
Everyone I know who is a major issue is not going to be stopped by a basic variant. I mean, it's
You're
still
talking
useful
about-
for other people, but
You're talking about your brothers, aren't you?
yeah, it's a possibility. Although, as a possibility, they hunt us down. But if they really wanted to get to me, they would probably already be here by now.
That's considerate, at least.
Well,
I'm gonna finally open this bottle I've been holding on to for a long time. And relax. As I'll verbal untransform one of his hands so he can actually pick up things again.
Fair enough. I'll say you can open it on like placing it on the barrel of like one of your guns and sort of just like doing it like as if it's like a bottle opener or something.
This bottle that we failed to open last session.
yeah.
Yeah. My lost brewski. Down the hatch as he drinks it through bullet teeth.
Now I know Felix is technically asleep at this time, but it is addiction.
It has to be that he's
It's like-
aware of it. Yeah.
But he is around the gauntlets.
Actually, he doesn't have to be aware for it because that's actually a good point. Because it's outsourced. Yeah, it's outsourced emotion. He is giving into a craving. So yes, actually, yeah. So you get to roll a d10 plus a d20 again. Yeah.
Here's my con.
Good
I got it.
lord. Good
So
lord.
it's 31, I think.
Yeah, that goes up to 31. Yeah. 19 though. For Ferdinand, that's actually not bad.
Yep.
What's the roll requirement for that ability for that brewski?
It's just a homebrew beer, so it would have been 10.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of it's a good taste, good vintage, but the it doesn't have any strong effects on you at the moment.
That one's been sitting in there for a bit. That's good.
As you sort of just like sat there for a time, just sort of waiting around. An hour and a half passes as Felix, you begin to sort of like start waking up a bit more. No one has tried to sort of come after you or come near you, but it is now pitch black, and the only thing that you can really see up in the night sky are the stars. There is no moon out, but the fire is the only sort of light source that you have at the moment. That is until you start noticing a very grand light beginning to sort of appear over the horizon.
And here's someone probably after us.
I guess it's safe to assume it's not a shooting star.
Yes, I'm going to assume that.
As it keeps on racing towards you.
I'm
Can
gonna
I activate instinctive will.
You can indeed activate instinctive.
Hey! You guys think the will.
It's d20 plus 10 for mind, and then I also need to get a 10 on perception.
Yes, although, don't you have a master skill based on that, where you can just roll just willpower of the mind or something?
I have a...
A pure technique or something? Like a master
Yeah,
skill
master pure. Yeah,
Yeah,
grand instinct.
just roll that, because that actually gives you a better advantage. And you only need to roll willpower of the mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll emergency fire to transform the other hand.
That activates. It's about a 50 meter range. Or no, wait.
I believe it's 100, isn't it?
It is 100, yeah.
So that's okay. Cool. You don't have to necessarily. This isn't. By the way, this isn't a reaction, so you don't actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm fine with you just transforming, and then so you've got both of your arms back in action. The light begins to get closer and closer towards you guys. Anarche, eventually this gets into your range, as he's about 100 meters away. And this is a life form that you somewhat recognize, as it's burning towards you. But you can't quite put your finger on it without giving me a decent history check. So,
Oh boy.
Anarcho, roll me history, which is under intelligence.
Yep. 18.
Ooh.
As this
Getting
is-
high on the flat rolls.
As this is racing towards you, you're trying to think of the person. It's like, wait, no, I fought this guy. This guy is named something. Someone spoke to me about him, and I fought with him, I beat him, and then he's about 50 meters away from you and the rest of your group, as suddenly the light bursts open from behind him, revealing like this big flaming individual with wings on his back, wielding an axe in one hand and a spear in the other, as he sets down and he begins walking towards you. As I want to point out, the heat and the glow that this guy is giving off is actually beginning to make a lot of you sweat. Felix, this is making you sweat, but you know that if you were in your transformation, you wouldn't be in such a position. But he begins walking one step at a time towards the party. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't suppose we could talk this one out with him, boss.
I mean, does he look like the talking type?
Felix
I don't know.
will go ahead and bulk up.
Fair enough. He's now 10 steps, 11 steps, 12 steps. Each step he's getting a meter closer to you.
Do I remember this guy yet? Or...
You do indeed. As he's about 30 meters away from the rest of the group, you remember this guy all too well. A phoenix man wielding a spear and an axe. Fill your soul.
I really don't need this one right now.
You know this one?
Yes, he's the person I beat. The man who resurrected himself, Phoenix Man.
Oh, the desert demigods, the first one.
Yes.
He's now 20
God.
meters away from your party.
After realizing who it was, I'm verbal go into flying dreadnought and hover just a meter off the ground.
I'm gonna activate predictive instinct.
Nice.
20!
Nice for the good old natural 20. Nice for the good old
Right.
29.
Yeah.
This is now 15 meters away, and he's getting closer towards Anarche.
Oldest drop the field, he knows we're here.
I think that doesn't really
Aldous
matter.
never put the barrier up because everyone basically shut down his idea.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
And want
No.
to stop this guy anyway.
He then stops about 10 meters away from Anarche. The heat, the sweltering heat, you're actually sweating at this point. I don't suppose you know why I'm here, would you?
I can guess. I assume it's to beat me.
About 4 days ago, you fought a man by the name of Simakael, Angel of Vengeance.
Yes.
Before he fought you, before he committed genocide, I must ask, an individual by the name of Fergus, he wielded an individual who bore a very similar symbol to myself.
Did he... I like it's just like, did he happen to have a ability that could make him, this is going to sound very simple, but similar to my friend Felix over here, like bigger, buffer.
Yes.
He was wielding a corpse that I assumed had that sort of thing. If anything, would I actually, Joe, because I know the answer to this, but I don't know, would I be able to recognize the similarity in ability between this and the corpse?
Without a doubt, like, because their energy signatures are identical.
Yes, they had the similar ability to you.
That man was my grandfather.
Oh.
I have come here, as he then takes his spear and he then raises it up, as it's now above your head, as he then stabs it into the ground. The heat depowers and the light begins to lessen until eventually there is no more light coming from him, but instead only the light from the logs burning behind you. I wish to thank you. The man by the name of Fergus, or the Deal Maker. You have fought him time and time again. When I found out that you were in Emjanar Linear, I had to come here straight away.
Well, I thank you. Quite so. That sounds odd, considering you came here to thank me, but... I guess I was right about you in that fight. You are a pretty decent fellow.
And I was wrong about you. You're definitely worth wielding that axe. I've seen many people with incredible capabilities, but it's good to know that my great-great-uncle's axe is going to be used for the right reasons.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes a lot more sense now.
Now, I hear that some of you might be in need of something, and I might be able to help you with it. You see, I found out about your situation, and I found out that you were in Emjanar Linear. I had to come and find you. There are many of those who obviously want the Miracle Stone, or the large sum of money. I myself don't care for either of them. To be honest, I only joined here, accidentally, when I was attacked by bandits who happened to have one of those bands. I then ended up having to kill people just to make sure that I would stay alive.
As he's saying that, I want to at least look into more of his emotions. Is there like regret that he had to kill these people, or is it more of the bothersome thing, if that makes sense?
Roll for it. Roll for,
Okey-doke.
I guess it would be mind.
Yeah. Natural 20.
You can tell that there is an ounce of regret, but it's more with, I regretfully killed these people, but in my defense, these guys are worthless piles of garbage. It was kind of almost the feeling of like, I am regretful. It is a regretful, but it's almost like an unapologetically, I did this sort of thing. It's the best.
I'm regretful I had to take life, but I don't apologize for it.
Yes, it's unapologetic, but yet with a tiny hint of regret. Like, there isn't any guilt, but there is regret. Like, it's a shame that I had to do this, but I'm not going to feel guilty for it. So yeah, regret, but no guilt. Unapologetic when he speaks about this. But he then says something else, which you notice the change in sort of emotions, when he then says, I might be able to help you with something that I've overheard one of your brothers saying. You see, I don't exactly care about this tournament. I kind of wanted to be left alone. The other 3 desert demigods wanted me to join with them so that we could then potentially get the chance of getting the Miracle Stone. Although, despite my being in their team, the possible idea of us getting the stone was based on the concept of whoever got it was the one who would be able to have it for themselves. There was no splitting it, there was no teamwork, it was simply means to an end. They needed 4, and I was their 4th chosen. That being said, I also found out about the list that you claim from the brothers.
Well, you certainly are resourceful, I'll give you that.
Felix pulling out a very soggy piece of paper.
Something that you'll notice is that the paper is neither soggy, nor is it damaged.
The heck?
Good material.
When you open it up, you notice that obviously the things are still on the list, but one of them has changed.
I assume is it the gauntlets that has changed, or is it we got that, or
So the gauntlets have a strike through them, yes, but it's something else, and actually it's got a larger amount of writing on it than beforehand. As you're reading it, Phileas says, "There's a man by the name of Sezu, and I've recently heard that he was terrorizing a town. Now, this particular town has always been quite nice to me. Now, when I heard that they were giving you something, and that particular thing had something to do with Sezu, I thought there would be a potential helping. I'll heal you and the rest of your compatriots, since I can do that. In return, you'll take down Sezu. You can take anything that's on him. I don't mind. I don't care. But you have to make sure that you keep him away from any of the other locals. I won't be getting involved. Because, and don't get me wrong when I say this, but I don't really care for the idea of fame, of being considered a demigod. The only reason I went out here and took this spear was for the only reason that I needed to. Family. I came here to live in exile and save some people, make sure that bandits weren't ruining this ancient homeland of my family. But I don't want to be heralded as a hero or as a god.
every time you say family, I feel like I need to make a nerve check.
You can if you want.
Especially because you're saying family with such definition. It's like you're hitting a soundboard. And this isn't
Family.
like nerve. This isn't nerve as in like, oh, he's getting angry or something at the mention of family. It's more like he feels overwhelmed with wanting to help, like empathy, kind of, because family.
Family.
Good
But I
old
never want.
family.
But I never want. Oh,
Natural 20.
Yeah. I'll let you. Okay, it's up to you. You can either roll 2 times. So in other words, you can roll 2 times the amount, or you can roll once, and we'll multiply whatever that is by 2.
We'll just do once,
Okay.
and then multiply by 2. So just a D10 plus 20, or just a D10?
It's just a D10.
Okay.
4.
4 points.
35. There you go.
Ooh.
But yeah, he just says, I didn't want to be heralded as a hero or as a god or as a demigod or anything like that. To be honest, I just want to have somewhat of a peaceful life. But it does concern me. So perhaps maybe, if you take them down, they'll realize that I can't always be there for them. As sad as it is, I can't just always allow them to have the same issues that my father created. My father was a hero, and he had a tendency of showing off his power. People eventually got used to the idea of him being the shining golden beacon of power, radiating light and destruction at the single mention of terror or trouble. He would cut down anyone who ever stood in his way, but he would always be making sure that the people around him would be as safe as he possibly could make them. But yet, I realize why he had to step down from being the best of the best and pretend to be weaker than he was. Because it's dangerous with that much power. People who go unchecked can become complacent, and the people around them become even more so. They would look at my father and think, it's okay, this man is like a god. He'll be untouchable. Until one day, he and 15 other heroes were wiped from existence 20 years ago. The point of that I'm trying to get here is that people rely too much on one particular person. They'll never really truly be able to grow and stand up for themselves. So I would like you to do this for me. To make that town believe that there are others out there who can do good, that can do right. And it's not just one that would save these people. If you do so, as I said, I will heal all of your compatriots. And if need be later on, I can lend you my strength.
Well, at least for me, I don't know about everyone else, but I don't really need much convincing. I'm not a massive fan of people who deliberately go after weaker people than themselves. So
Just sense Herb nodding.
I think it's pretty clear that we'll do it, not for the glory or the thrill of battle, but for family. Bless you.
Sorry, I couldn't.
All that's lost here in the desert, yes, I know.
now a waterman comes out of his snot. He was inside him all along.
Stuntle power. Either way, since you all, yeah, pretty much agree on this.
I mean, how are we not going to agree on this?
Fair enough. Phillies sort of stands up, prouder than he was as he sort of hears all of you say this, and he goes, "Very well then." As he grabs this spear and launches up his arm, as a massive amount of fire emanates from the tip of it, and it begins pouring this flame as it touches Anarche, as it touches Aldous, and as it touches Ferb, as it begins to heal them. Because
Felix is already at max.
Felix is already at max, yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually,
It's pretty much just me.
over a certain amount of time, both of you are fully healed. You are no longer damaged, so you are now at like normal capacity health, back to max.
Nice. That feels good.
Aldous also no longer has damage either,
Oh, nice.
and Ferb is also fully healed. There we go. Stan is also fine, and
How about Stan's clone?
Stan's clone was not damaged, so
His clone would die in like a single hit. So I mean,
yeah. Sadly, he can't do anything about maximum health.
yeah.
He then says, "The best thing that we can do is try and get there at some point. It's up to you if we go now, or I can try and defend you for the next couple of hours whilst you get some rest."
How do I feel? How does Anarche point?
Again, I could give you a pill.
I'm gonna have to ask at least an RK to roll me an endurance, because you're the only one who hasn't actually taken a short rest.
Yes. Well, I took one in the submarine, but
Yeah, but it wasn't
I
like
haven't-
you didn't sleep or anything.
No. 18.
You're feeling alright, actually, to be fair. The power of the universe itself is drawing you're drawing upon its energy as it gives you vitality.
Again, I could shorten your rest with a pill.
Why are you always trying to drug me? This is
Why are you trying to put... Hang on a second. I gotta say, why are you trying to push drugs on a 19-year-old?
It brings up my stockpile. 2, it'll help get anything you've lost from a short rest back.
I have everything back already.
Fair enough.
I appreciate the idea. But
Look,
you're
I'm
not my
sitting at-
dad.
I'm the party's dad.
I
That's
mean,
how we say it
that's
over
true, yeah.
I'm sitting at 35 stockpile. I need to get it up. Got every chance I can get.
I mean,
Well-
if you're offering, I'll take one of those chill pills you keep popping.
Not sure how it would benefit you, but sure.
I believe it's passive nerve.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
just-
like,
Don't get angry. Just pretty chill.
isn't it like a passive 15? It's the equivalent to a passive 10 or a passive 15 of nerve or something.
Yeah, something like, let me 1d4 for my turns. It will have 10 plus nerve plus the chemist level. So yeah.
So yeah, it's the equivalent of just like having it where if someone was to roll against Ferb and Ferb got under a 15 or under a 10, he can just go, cool, yeah, that doesn't count, it's just a 15. Yeah.
It's for 1d4 turns.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how useful it would be for especially right
not,
now.
Not at
but-
all. I mean, it would just chill him out for a bit, but that's about it. I mean, you know
Wait,
what you
compared
could
to-
do, Felix? You
Roll
could take
nerve.
one of
What's
those.
your house
I could
stress?
take one of them.
Verb detransforms, feeling chill AF.
Chill AF.
No feel for bloodlust right now.
Well, I mean,
Let's
that's
go help
some
this
some
guy.
addiction. So there you go.
Yeah. I'll take. Did you roll the d4 for how many turns?
Yeah. Just roll. Well, actually, wait. Well, yes, yeah, but that doesn't really matter to you.
It doesn't matter to me, but like,
You want me to
Just
roll a
for-
D4
yeah,
there,
just
Juice?
just see how many 6 seconds it lasts. It lasts what?
3.
There you go.
So 18 seconds.
Well, no. It lasts for 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yeah, okay. And then so d10 plus.
That's some good stuff.
I swear, if I get another like really low roll,
Yeah, that would just be. Wow.
Sake.
so 42.
Maybe
I
you
believe.
should take a chill pill.
Maybe I should, but I feel like if I have my stockpile at 42, I've de-transformed at this point. There's no need to be transformed. If it's at 42, that's 8 away from max.
Okay,
So it's
fair
like using a pill would kind of,
Fair.
especially considering I just gave one to Ferb.
Yeah.
I have a limited supply here.
Don't you have
down
like
to
10?
I have 17.
Wow, that's way more than I thought you had.
Yeah.
I do have only 3 sleep pills, though.
Ah, okay. Well, either way, Phileas says that he'll be on the outskirts of town, far enough away that he isn't a part of this, but close enough that he can keep watching on the band and obviously intervene if anyone else tries to.
Because they actually told us which direction to go.
He has, and he even says that he will take you there himself, either now or in a certain amount of time if you need to rest or wait until the daylight comes.
I'm good now. How about you two?
It doesn't. I've already taken a nap, and everything else I have is not based off of rest. Regaining.
And I'm feeling good.
I guess now.
Very well. Then I should probably recommend two things. The first thing is, I should say, Anarchy, you obviously have a pocket dimension, don't you?
Yes.
Best to put all of your party in there, for the time being. Your timer only stops whilst you're in there, but it doesn't do anything for the rest of your team. They'll go in the pocket dimension, I'll take you, carry you there, since the two of us have the ability to fly, and then we should be able to get close enough.
How romantic.
Then you can obviously just open up your pocket dimension and they can waltz on out.
If it wasn't I like this guy, this would be suspicious AF.
He then just also like notices that you're sort of like halting for a second. He's like, well, if you can also fly, since you can also just follow me.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I trust you. Alright. Well, you know the rule, guy says you've got your chemist thing, you've got the video games, have fun.
I claim the sofa.
You guys get into the. You
Since when
guys
did we have a sofa in there?
get into the pocket dimension.
I did buy a sofa. It's been there for a while.
As you guys head into the pocket dimension and sort of like get set up and get sorted. Felix sort of flaps his wings, sort of launches up, and then just sort of like follow.
I have wings now.
Yay!
I keep forgetting the frickin' names. Phileas as Phileas.
It's a PH name.
Oh shush!
It's not even-
It's still an F. Shush. As Phileas opens his wings and sort of flaps them upwards, sort of just like ascending into the air, pushing off a load of dust, sort of just waiting for you to sort of follow with him.
Alright, I'll just fly up.
It's canon now. Felix has wings.
He does.
The DM said it.
Yeah.
Shush, shush.
Congratulations on your wings.
Yeah. What's my flight speed?
Nothing, because you don't have wings. Because I misspoke.
So they're just aesthetic.
Yes.
Anyway. Eventually, you follow him for a while. You've been flying for about an hour, and you eventually see the location that you're sort of trying to get to. You notice as you look back at your arm, it says that it's 9 hours and 34 minutes left.
Alright, not too long now.
As Phileas basically says, according to what I was able to gather, Sezu himself is quite powerful. You're going to need your entire team's capabilities and support. The town itself is known as Natu, so you're going to have to make sure that you don't destroy the town or kill any of its residents. Can I at least count on you to make sure that does not happen?
Flashbacks to the recent fight he had where he just annihilated an entire apartment. Yes.
I don't like that hesitation.
We'll make sure to get him out of the town
Getting
before.
another building.
That's the problem. You see, Sezu apparently isn't actually trying to terrorize the town in a normal way. It seems as though he's holding them hostage. Like, trying to lord over his abilities like a god. And this is another reason why I've asked you to do this. If I was to suddenly step in there, they would then claim that I was in fact the real, true demigod. And I can't be having that. However, you have already been claimed as some kind of heretic, and if you were to take down a believed god, they would just see it as either divine intervention gone different, or just yet another fighter killing another fighter. I don't mind if you kill him or if you just beat him within an inch of his life, but either way he must be stripped of any of the possibilities to fight and lord over this town. Take him away, do what you need to do. But I have seen for myself what exactly he wields. I don't exactly know every power that he actually has at his disposal, but he has that spear. It seems to allow him to do similar things as to what the axe can do, except from on a much of a lesser scale.
Right, okay.
Is it safe to say that Aldous and Stan, till the end of the session, will be on saving civilians duty?
Anyway,
Probably.
maybe.
Since they can't actually be in combat.
Yeah.
He then says, it turns out that whatever abilities that he might be able to wield, it's also quite... How do I put it this way? It doesn't seem like his only ability is whatever he's using with the spear.
So a possible catalyst or something along those sort of lines.
Either that or the spear that he's wielding isn't anything to do with his original powers. Whether it is the factor that he's a catalyst or perhaps something else. I can't quite say.
Well, once I sense him, I should be able to at least figure out roughly what it is.
Very well. I'll let you decide exactly what you want to do with him. Eventually you touch down after getting to the outskirts of the town. You're about like 400 meters away from the actual outskirts of the town. You notice that there's a very large sort of building in the center of it. As Phileas then says, currently he's holding that location as his main place. Kind of like a church. The church itself doesn't exactly matter too much in the terms of what it is that they pray to, but it's more about of a sign. They use it similar to that of a village hall, as well as a place of worship. But the only real problem is, you'll see when you get in there.
Right. I understand. As I will open up the portal to allow people out.
The party leave the portal.
So we're nearby.
Indeed you are. I want to just point out something very important about this town. There are many different buildings made out of what seems to be sort of like solid rock and sort of sandstone. There are sconces, but each of the sconces do have like flames on them. But there are also some lights that look like as if they're electronic, but you don't see a single sort of wire, cable, generator anywhere within the town. This looks rather low-tech, yet they do actually have some seemingly techish lights. You also see the main hall, also known as the Grand Church, which is in the dead center of the town. It is the biggest.
Keep all this away from that.
It is the biggest. It is the biggest building there. This is as far as I go, I'm afraid. But I will keep an eye out to make sure that no one else tries to join in. If I see anyone, I will try and attempt to do what I can. But I'm afraid that I cannot go for any further than this. If they get in, I apologize. But
No,
I cannot allow them to think that I had anything to do with this.
No, that's fair
No
enough.
worries. You just do the best you can at what you are capable of. We'll sort out the rest.
It's actually quite amazing that a lot of people seem to try and talk down to me these days. Anyway.
Oh no, I've seen your abilities. I'm just saying you know how to do things. So if you let someone die, clearly they were just destined to get by.
I think you're making things worse, Ferb.
We'll try to limit
Oh,
the amount of
sorry.
casualties to just this.
If he tries to use people as hostages, make sure that those particular individuals are as innocent as possible. And what I mean by that is don't let him try and use them. Don't let him try and tempt them. And definitely don't let him try and taint them. Whatever he's going to do in there, he has ideologies that could very well be dangerous to the people.
Understood. Alright. Is everyone ready to go?
How far is the church?
About a kilometre or so away.
Well, boss, I think this could be easily done. One thing and get it over and done with.
You
If
think
you
of
can get me
shooting up
within-
the church by any chance?
No, just shooting him. If you can get within 400 meters of him, and you can allow me to sense him, he might as well be dead where he literally is.
Okay,
You'll never see it coming.
I agree. On one, there's only one issue with that. Your bullets are going to have to go through the church. And
Do you have a problem
I'm
with
going
me
to
shooting up a religious building?
No. It's not the fact it's a religious building. It's more it might tumble and kill everyone else inside.
I could just fire just straight up ammunition rather than sonic.
If
What, willpower?
need be, I could focus on getting civilians out.
That'd probably be best. I think it's not a bad idea though, Ferb, for you to distance fight him, if that makes sense. If you can, once we get into the village, try and get into a position that is good, and if you can use your sensing ability to actually, how far can we be separated with your resonance?
It's literally as soon as you let go of me, we are disconnected.
Ah, right, I see.
And unless you have a way to tether our souls together, it's not very long distance.
Theory crafting time. Joe, I don't know what you'd want me to roll for this, but if we were to connect our two resonance abilities together, would that allow a increased gap, or?
A power knowledge.
That will either be a power knowledge or an intelligence.
Don't suppose you want me to help in this role?
I mean, you don't even know about his willpower
I haven't
connection ability.
said anything, so I can't. Yeah.
Roll.
What do you
Yeah,
want me to?
fair
What do you want me to roll? Base intelligence or power knowledge?
I'm gonna let that be up to you.
I have a -1 to power knowledge.
What do you think, Ferb?
I have a -3. Well, you know your abilities better than anyone, so
Cool.
go with what power you got.
I'll just say it's the exact same. I just wanted to. I just didn't want to
Okay.
pick. 14
And that is with?
power knowledge.
Okay. You know
Just
that
for the I will roll up a power knowledge. I know it means nothing.
you don't know anything in the terms of like what you could do in the terms of tethering your own soul through the means of your energy. Also, even if you could, that tether would have to be attached to your own energy, and then the energy would have to be touching and creating that like continuous. In other words, you'd basically have to create a string of energy that is attached to Ferb, using your willpower techniques, resonating, and then allowing him to still be attached to that string. It would probably only go up to about 100 meters from you to him. Also, you would have to keep at minimum one limb sacrificed to this technique, just so that you could keep it going and keep rolling it every single turn, every minute, which would be a very great difficulty of continuance. Also, if he left that range of yours, because again, he doesn't know the definite immediate range, because he could just go, alright, I'm just going to go like this. As soon as it's disconnected, the resonance is over. So it's kind of... It's a shame that you aren't able to make some kind of like energy mark that marks both you and him together, so that then you can resonate through some kind of like phantom variation of like
Yeah.
connection between the two of you. It's giving you ideas of possible potential things that you could make, but something that you don't have the capacity to suddenly come up with on the fly.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I have an idea. Are we in agreement that the I guess this come first? In this instance.
Civilians will always come first. Yes, no innocents.
Cool. Alright. Felix, like you said, you cool with helping getting civilians up there. I feel like you're a bit more easier to communicate than I am.
Yep. Leave it to me.
Alright, Ferb, I would like you to give him supporting fire. Not that I believe you need it in terms of fighting, but more increase the chances of civilians not getting hurt.
Very well.
And then
I'll
once you two have done that, feel free to join into the fight.
You got it, boss.
Understood.
Alright. I guess off we go to the church.
So the session ends with us walking up to the church,
Yeah.
like JoJo characters. Or
Yeah.
You do begin walking through. You like keep going. The whole of the party begins walking towards the church. You take a while, but you notice that the whole place is quiet. People are like either already in their houses. Like you can see some people just sort of like closing their windows at this time. Some people are like sort of blowing out their candles. Others already have it. This place is dead silent. But the weirdest thing to you is nobody is in the streets. Not an animal, not a person, not an anything is in the streets. You would think maybe some guards or something. No, nothing. As this continues, the winds sweep through this place, chilling you to the bone. The dust's kicking up. And as you eventually get to this grand hall made out of the darkest sort of stone that you've ever seen, you get up to these large wooden and metal bolted doors. You can hear a sort of noise, an almost sort of resonance of sound coming from behind the doors. You can see little cracks where the light is seeping out as it's bursting through the darkness. People or something or someone is inside of this building.
How many people can I sense, if I'm able to sense inside there?
You can indeed sense people. There are about 21 people in there, and one of them is extraordinarily powerful.
Well, this will, I guess, certainly be interesting. The door seemed locked, these doors.
No, the door does not seem locked.
Cool, I'll let myself in then.
I will probably go ahead and bulk up.
Okay,
I will activate Flying Dreadnought.
fair enough. Nice. So that's a 25.
I will activate my style, because I've got nothing to activate.
Is that enough for Dreadnought?
Yep, it's a 10 because of all the all the skills in it.
So
I
you
will say
activate that?
head. Oh, the skull will do the popping in the blood and oh god, there's shit everywhere.
As you open the doors, you notice a load of people sort of turn around as you see in this church, the congregation, there are people sort of barely clothed. Some of them have torn clothing, some of them have rags. Men and women sort of staring at you. There are two either side. Someone on a very large chair, beautiful and ornate, made out of seemingly out of stone and wood carvings. This individual is wearing a toga and is sort of like, the best way to put it is he's leaning with his right leg over the right armrest. His left arm is holding his head in his hand as it's leaning on the left armrest. He's basically kind of lying in a really lackadaisical position on this big ornate sort of throne, as he's being fanned by a man and a woman either side of him with these very large leaves. As he has his eyes closed, he has this beautiful sort of white robe toga, these special sandals. He's got quite a big bushy beard, which is like greyish, and a golden necklace. As his eyes are closed, and he's sort of like popping a grape into his mouth and sort of chewing on it. As everyone except from the two that are fanning him turn around and look at you.
Well, I mean, I'm just personally going to walk up to this man.
As you continue walking, the congregation of these people begin moving away as they sort of part they part away from you as you walk towards him. He opens his eyes, and you see just naught but white pits. What is this?
Yo.
You must be the people that I saw all the way out in the distance of the desert. So that these are the people who have come to see me. I only have one single question for you. And you can tell me however you wish. Are you here to bend your knee at my grace, or are you here to die by a god's will? And that is where we shall end this session. Thank you very much, everyone, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to this episode. This episode has been the Dev Plays the Crucible of Avarice, using the Animite Tales tabletop RPG system. This has been episode 59. Thank you very much for listening, and as always, check us out at #AnimiteTales on YouTube, or check out the game, and you get to play the this game openly and freely. Using the system. Play it with your friends. Tabletop systems, yay, using superpowers and all that sort of stuff. Check it out at animitales.com or at me at animitales on Twitter. Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Rip submarine.